The fourth book of Moses, chapter 25, verse 10, to chapter 30, verse 1. This portion talks about many events, including the census, the genealogy, the celebrations of God, and the sacrifices or procedures associated with them. But in the center of the chapter, the key event of the chapter is its hero Pinchas. Pinchas receives the status of priesthood for his descendants for killing Zimri, the son of Zamri. This is the elder of the Shimeon clan. Pinchas killed him and killed a Midianite woman named Cosbi. For this, he could receive punishment, but instead gets rewarded. You can also try to understand why this is happening. We know that the Almighty, when He created people, created man and woman. When people seek in the face of the Almighty, a man and a woman, as one of the stages of the search, are combined into a single whole. There is an opportunity for confusion here. The Almighty is one God, but it is easier to know Him as a couple that has become one. Confusion comes in the fact that people from ancient times invented gods for themselves, which were pairs. But in fact, it is the union of a man and a woman that is a necessary stage on the path of God. People mistakenly begin to divide the world into some kind of pairing. It could be a good God, evil God, male kingdom and female kingdom, sun or moon. People recognize God as an interaction of some two forces. And this is the first mistake. We see that in the region that includes the people of Israel, in the land of Israel, in and around Canaan, there is a worship of a goddess harlot. This goddess is called Ishtar, Astarte, Aserat, or Ashrata. These are very similar words. And among the Greeks, the same goddess is called the word Aphrodite, which comes from familiar origins. This goddess lived by that, her basis. She gave her body for fertilization to other gods. And in the earthly world, she had servants who served at the temple in the same way. They were called initiates, or stadimist, the Hebrew word gadisha. This word also means temple fornication, any prostitution that happens near the temple. Before the people of Israel descended into Egypt, this was a quite common phenomenon. Judah's daughter-in-law Tamar, when she already wanted to settle accounts with him, changed her clothes, and Judas easily got along with her. It would seem that not because Judas was so eager to prostitutes, but because he saw it as a kind of sacrifice. But the Torah forbids such a phenomenon. In the 5th book of Moses, the 23rd chapter, the 18th verse, it is written that this kind of prostitution is prohibited. And this belief was from the surrounding environment where the people came from. Through a connection with such a prostitute among the peoples who united the country of Israel, there was the worship of Baal. To a present-day person, today's reader of the Torah, it goes without saying that the temple and a brothel are not the same thing. But at that time, in that environment, these two things were identified equally. What did this Jew, the one who slept with the woman, the elder of Shimeon? It was not an act of some kind of love. It was a ritual of concluding an alliance with Baal. When the Israelites lived in Egypt, they spoke a different language. Naturally, if they went to the Egyptian temple, then in order to fix something there, that is, as some kind of workers perhaps, but they couldn't confess with the Egyptians before religion. And when Ivrat approached those peoples who spoke a language similar to him, then danger arose, and a fall nearly occurred. But Pinchas stood up, in fact, for the people of Israel. He could lose his Kogan rank, because a priest who killed once, he can no longer be blessed with this job. and yet he went through with this act, for which he receives a reward. This award is eternal priesthood for him and for his descendants. There is one more important teaching in our Torah portion. It is associated with relations between a man and a woman. This is due to the daughters of Talifad, who asked to give them some land. They say, "How do we know that women are stronger than men, and that their strength is more righteous?" The men said, "Let's all get back together and go back to Egypt." And the woman said, "Give us a portion among our brothers." Women were rather more persistent on the way to Israel. Male gender in Hebrew is called Zahar. This verb also means remember. The man is the one who must remember God's commandments. A woman is called Nekevah. A simple translation of the word Nekevah is a hole. But if we translate this into the realm of thought, into the realm of reason, then it means one which establishes the name, or one which specifies the target. We can say that if you imagine a family like a ship, the woman is the one that sets the course. She's the pilot. And the man is at the helm. He is steering. And the captain is above all of this. And the integrity of this gives a real family couple. This does not mean that it is possible to understand that in the family the woman is more important than the man. But correctly understanding that a woman can indicate the spiritual need of the family, and through it, a man understands how to lead to this goal. A man satisfies the spiritual needs of woman, provides her spiritual growth, and in turn, his spiritual growth, because they are one flesh. In the wrong situation, a man can only provide carnal needs of a woman. Then he serves the carnal sense. He can buy her all sorts of things, and this will be the essence of the union. But in any case, the wife brings needs to the family, and the man fills them up. Such relationships in the family, as they are recognized, and in our situation, we see the daughters of Talifad, who set thoughts and appeals for men. We must go in such a way that among you we may receive an allotment. A woman sees the vision of the goal approximately better than a man. This is how we see it in this chapter.